Hi, Rilus Dana here, coming to you today outside in beautiful Southern California. I'm not live, I'm recording this, but it'll be a one-shot take, so don't expect any edits or anything polished. I'm recording it because my internet is not great here. But today, what I want to talk about is how to take title of your home. So we get this question a lot. This is something I've been discussing a lot with people. So that's the focus of today's live or today's Friday session. So glad to have you here. If there's other comments or other topics you want to hear about, leave them in the comments below. Be happy to discuss those things and answer your questions. Next week, I should be back live again. So if you're tuning in live, 12 o'clock Pacific time, you can ask your questions during that time and I'll try to get to them. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, so let's talk about how to take title of your home. So this is my contact info. This is where I practice law in Arizona and California. So your options for a house, if you're buying it just in your name, an airplane flying over right now, but if you're buying it just in your name, it's pretty simple. It's going to be, just your name is one option. Later, I'll get into trust and business entities. Now, if you're buying it with multiple people, then you have more options. So, or just if you're married, you need to specify whether this is your sole and separate property or whether you're buying it together with your spouse. Now, if there's multiple people that are going to be owners of it and you're not married to all of them, then you got a couple options. The default is tenants in common. So this is the default way. If multiple people own property together, they're said to own it as tenants in common. So what that means is no rights of survivorship. So if one of them passes away, so one of these owners passes away, their share is going to go to their estate. It'll go down to their children or whoever are the beneficiaries of their estate. If they don't have a will, then Uncle Sam's got you covered in the laws of intestacy. Now, joint tenants with rights of survivorship, this is another way for multiple people to own property together. So if you're married, you can own property with your spouse as joint tenants with right of survivorship. Or if you're owning property with multiple people who you're not married to, you can own it with joint tenants with rights of survivorship. So let's see how that looks. So this guy passes away again, but this time with rights of survivorship, the other three remain the owners of the property. So rights of survivorship means that the remaining owners get the rights to the property if someone dies. So very important distinction there. If you're owning property with someone else, is what do you want to have happen if they were to pass away? Do you want their share to go down to their estate or to the remaining owners? You can also take title in the name of a trust. So this is going to be the preferred way in most situations, that you take title of your house in the name of your trust. So if you're buying a new home, tell your realtor, tell the agent that you want to take title in the name of your trust. Maybe it's the title company that asks you this question, but usually as part of the transaction, they ask you, or maybe it's a form that you fill out. It's going to ask how you want to take title of your house. So if you have a trust established already, then give them the name of your trust. They need the name of the trust and the date that you signed it, and title company is probably going to want to see a copy of it as well. So if you're buying a house and you have a trust, tell them that you want to take title in the name of the trust, and that's the easiest way to do it. Shouldn't be an issue with your mortgage or anything like that. You can still own a property in a revocable trust. No issues to the mortgage. There's a federal statute that says you can own real estate in a revocable trust. So a trust, quick refresher, it's a legal document. The person that makes it is a trustor. The manager is the trustee. and the beneficiary is the person that benefits from it. In the trust, you name your successor trustee and the beneficiaries, and when and how the beneficiaries can receive from the trust. So a trust is recommended to avoid probate. I'm not going to go through all the details of a trust today. Um, okay, so real property title options. You do, in Arizona, in trust, you do have to disclose the beneficiaries of the trust on the title. So if you want to keep your name off the public record, like maybe it's an investment property or things like that, there's things that we can do. I talked about this last week. You can find the video for this, or go back maybe as a few weeks prior, but how to take real estate without disclosing your name. Okay, LLC. So I want to highlight, if you own rental properties, it's a good idea to own these in the name of a LLC or some sort of limited liability company. So if there's an injury, all your assets would be at risk if you own them individually, versus if an LLC owns a property and there's an injury on that property, the liability is going to be limited to the assets in the LLC, only the assets in the LLC, and it's going to protect your other assets. So this new house you bought, if it's a rental property, then it should be owned in an LLC. Is probably the best way to do it, because you want to get some protection. If you're renting the property out, someone else is living there, or other people are using it, then it's a good idea to protect yourself from the liability. If this is your personal home that you bought, then it should be owned by your trust. So that's it for today, and how to take title. Let me see. Let me find this stream again. If you have any further questions on how to take title for real estate, reach out to us. Be happy to help you set up your family with a personal legal plan that protects them from probate, limits liability, and also limits taxes. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you next time.